here I am. It's July 9th, 2019. We're on our way up State Highway 38 here in the San Bernardino National Forest. I'm on my way up. Tomorrow I'm going to attempt to climb up to the top of San Gorgonio Peak, which is the highest mountain in Southern California. But we're steadily climbing in elevation here on our way to the cabin that we're going to be staying at. See some of the scenery on the way up. Heading fairly steeply up here along Valley of the Falls Drive on the way to the cabin that we're going to be staying at. Big Falls, not too far from the trailhead, the Vivian Creek Trailhead for climbing San Gorgonio Peak. So I'm here at about 7 o'clock in the morning at the Vivian Creek Trailhead, which leads up to the summit of San Gorgonio Peak. We're at about roughly 6,000 feet elevation right now, right here. The summit is about 11,500. So we'll be looking at, according to the information at hand, I'll be looking at about 17 miles round trip, over 5,000 feet of elevation gain. So should be some good exercise today. It looks like a nice day. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is as I was crossing the creek drainage there. You can see those signs on the other side where the trail begins up the slopes. And that's the view to the east, Galena Peak there. And around to, I think, the northwest there. So I have reached the north side of Mill Creek here. Now the trail's starting to ascend a little more steeply. And the trail will be going in a roughly north direction for a while before. And these switchbacks heading towards the north are fairly steep. Well, it's about 7:40 a.m. now. Still headed in a roughly north direction up these switchbacks. Still fairly steep. That's the direction I'm coming from. It's getting pretty sunny now. And I'm continuing up this way. Now we're actually starting to descend just a little bit towards this creek crossing. Look at the size of those two trees. Just after those huge trees, you're going to reach this fork in the trail. I'm going to want to go left here because I'm headed for San Gorgonio Mountain Summit. And as you can tell, we're on a comparatively flat stretch here, which is kind of a relief right now. It's kind of flattened out just a little bit before those big trees I just showed you. It's a really pretty forest. We're coming up now to the creek crossing. It's not too precarious. The size of these trees. So I'm continuing here through this forest. Again, the trail has leveled out and headed towards the east. After that roughly north, those steep north heading switchbacks earlier, we're at about roughly 7,500 feet in elevation now, so I think I've gained about 1,500 feet. So only a few more thousand feet to go. You can see these ferns here along this stretch. Still headed roughly east on this gently ascending trail. And continuing along the pretty gently sloping eastbound part of the trail, I'm up here at about 8,000 feet in elevation. You come to this sign, halfway camp to the right, High Creek to the left. You want to stay left in order to continue towards San Gorgonio Peak. And we're here at about 8,300 feet, not too long after that fork in the trail back there and creek crossing. We're starting to get a little steeper and encounter some west and north heading switchbacks. However, the trail overall is still continuing in a east direction. I'm here at about 85, maybe 8,600 feet roughly. Still heading eastward pretty much toward the peak. And still heading roughly east. The trail has now wrapped around onto the north side of the slope. View to the north. And we again wrapped around to about the south side of the ridge here. Getting pretty sunny out. I'd say I'm about halfway through, or maybe a little over halfway through the total elevation gain. Still hanging in there. I think I'm going to stop and put some sunscreen on though. It's still here at about 9,000 feet. Still heading roughly east. Pretty gentle sloping here right now, but up ahead it's about to get steeper. Going to hit some eastbound switchbacks up this part right here. Now when you see this sign, in case there's any confusion, you want to just continue on the trail immediately behind the sign here. You can see right there where you want to go. Might be tempting to go off this way, but that is not right. You're here at about 9,200 feet. Starting to head up those aforementioned eastbound switchbacks. See, the terrain is a lot rockier in this section. I think we're finally coming to the end of that long section of eastbound switchbacks. Up here at about 9,800, close to 10,000 feet. We're going to start heading along a northward stretch here. That section of switchbacks was pretty tough, but I would say not as steep as the northbound section immediately. So now I'm at about over 10,000 feet. There's probably less than 1,500 feet of elevation left to gain. This long northward stretch is fairly steep. You know, about as steep as the section of eastbound switchbacks that came right before it. But end is in sight as we're going along here. You can see the upper part of the mountain to be coming into full view here. We keep on going and continuing on, and look at what we found here. First patch of snow I've seen. No palm trees up here. Still moving along. See, it's getting real here. Still going along this fairly steep northward stretch. You can see, I believe that's the summit right there. I'm going to continue along this stretch and at some point make a turn toward the east and head to the summit. And it's still heading roughly northward, up here probably close to 11,000 feet or so. And just a note on this section of the trail, it is very sandy and rocky and easy to lose the path. I lost it for a little bit back there and luckily found it again because I saw 3 guys descending along it. Fortunately, the destination is well in sight, but it is easy to lose. Just keep your eye out in this stretch. Okay, so when you reach this sign on the way up, you're just going to want to stay towards the summit. But on the way down, you have to stick to the Vivian Creek Trail, which is going to be the left fork. If you go to the right, you could end up descending down the entirely wrong side of the mountain. Making that final eastward segment towards the summit of San Gorgonio Peak. It is a little chilly up here. Got a cool breeze going on. Starting to look more like the top of a mountain, but not chilly enough to need my jacket. See you at the top. And here I am. Lo and behold, I am the only one up here, it looks like. I was actually pleasantly surprised on the way up here by the amount of traffic, although it is a weekday. I've only encountered probably about 15 people. So here I am at the top of San Gorgonio Peak, the highest mountain in Southern California, 11,503 feet. Took me about 4 hours to get all the way up here, about 8 or 9 miles one way. Still have to go back down though, of course. About 5,000 to 5,500 feet of total elevation gain, a lot of gain. However, I'd say the toughest part of this for me was probably the distance, and that, as I said, even though I still have half of that to go. Anyway, see you at the bottom. I'm just going to do a pano around view from the summit here. south there, we have San Jacinto Peak, one of the other highest mountains in this area. Isn't that something? Here I am finally coming back to the trailhead. After all that, I think I'm ready for a shower, some food, some relaxation, and probably a beer or 4. Anyway, see you on the next mountain.